Supergirl number 6, written by Michael Green and Mike Johnson, art by Mahmoud Asrar. We left off last issue with Supergirl meeting a Kryptonian creation called a World Killer, and they fight. Supergirl loses, and she's trapped on this city of Argo that's orbiting and falling into a big blue star, so she doesn't have a lot of power either. And the World Killer's going to Earth, because of course it is. This issue picks up with a flashback to the later days of Supergirl's training for her trials, and she's fighting against this robotic guy who's basically like, yeah, everyone knows about, like, the parts of the trial about, like, courage or whatever, or smarts, but everyone always forgets that the physical part is still very important. So she's trying to fight against this robot, and the robot is sweeping at her legs and just like, you're disappointing me here. You got to do better than that. And Supergirl's father shows up and was just like, all right, Kara, like, there's only one thing you need about combat. All you got to do is get back up. So come with me. We got to go. And the robot's like, excuse me, but she still needs to finish her lesson. He's like, not today. She's a scientist. We're all scientists in this family. And she's never going to be doing any fighting. And she leads her off. But then we see that basically she was like, yeah, I was in danger of not passing my trials, but if you look at me now, as she's pinned against this wall, I definitely failed them. So she tries to pull the sword out of the wall and free herself, or else she'll burn up as this thing falls into the sun, but she genuinely just cannot do it. But she's at least happy that maybe she'll die in the city where her loved ones died, which, when I say happy, I mean she sees the irony of it. So then we go to Earth, New York City. This lady from Ireland, which gets a lot of focus for some reason. I'm assuming she'll be a main character. She is taking a picture of this couple at the Statue of Liberty, and then all of a sudden rain lands and was like, all right, this is a perfect place to start in this big city. Let's start killing people. And she calls over to a police officer, security guard, and she's like, hey, you look like you're wearing some sort of official clothing. Are you with the government? And he's like, I guess so, technically. And she's like, cool. Call your presidents and your leaders, whatever. Tell them I've come, and they're to send their best fighters, and I will fight them and kill them all. Then we go back to Argo, and Kara's being woken up by, like, two basically force ghosts of her parents, and Kara's immediately just like, okay, so I'm dreaming? And he's like, I don't know, either you're dreaming or it's a memory, whatever it is, but just know that we love you, we're always here for you. You can get this sword out, so let's try extra hard now. And they pull it out of the wall, and Kara's mother's like, now you gotta get out of this city. It's literally, like, seconds away from falling into the sun. And she's like, I don't have any power. I was powered by the yellow sun. He's like, you always have the power inside of you. Just believe in yourself. Which doesn't make a lot of sense, but regardless, she gets the power to fly away. And she escapes the city as it's falling into the blue sun. And basically, she's just kind of accepted. Like, there's this whole thing here of, like, my home is gone. I'm awake. This isn't some nightmare. I have to deal with this. So she's accepting that her home planet is gone in some regard. But cut back to Earth, and rain is already just tearing apart. I think it's New York. It's got, like, what seems to be the Arc de Triomphe, though, so I'm a little bit confused there, unless there's some famous arc in New York I'm just unfamiliar with. Regardless, there are now tanks. They're trying to blow her to smithereens. She's just taking them on, full hit to the stomach. She rips one open and yells at the tank driver to, like, don't hide behind your toys, fight me like a man. And she hears a voice behind her say her name as Supergirl just flies up, punches her in the face, and tells her to shut up. And everyone's like, hey, she's got the Superman S on her. Is she a Superman? And Rain's like, I knew you could save yourself, and I'm glad you've come to seize your destiny, but I'm gonna, like, we can conquer this world together. And Supergirl's like, I'm not here to conquer it. I'm here to save it from you. So they fight, and Rain gets the upper hand, obviously. And she's trying to do the whole villain thing. It's like, we have much in common, Supergirl. We both wonder where we came from, and the secrets are now lost to time, and blah, blah, blah. And Supergirl's, of course, like, I have nothing in common with you. And he's like, all right, well, here's the deal. So I put in a force field around this city, so nobody's going to interrupt our fight, including your cousin. Yes, I know about him. And so we're just going to duke it out here, and whoever's left will be the one who takes the world. And because she's just terrible, Rain decides to cheat. And she's like, you may be the last of the Kryptonians with your cousin, but I'm not the last of the world killers. As she teleports in an emo-looking saber-toothed wolf guy, a lizard with feathers on it, and some electric blue beetle-looking thingy. And that's where it ends. And they say, more than one of us survived. So, yeah, a lot of world killers that are all about to fight against Supergirl. It's fine. I get the point they were going for. They were going for the point of like, no, Kara, you will always have us and you're stronger than you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get the point they were going for, but it just came across as like so schmaltzy and not in like a way of like, yeah, you did it. Like, oh, she tried to pull out the sword, but she couldn't. But then with the memory of her loved ones, she could. It's like, oh, she tried to fly away from the planet, but she couldn't. But then with her mother sharing her love, she did. It's like, all right, this is... You set up clear rules about how these things work, and then you're just like, okay, but like the power of love, fine, I guess. I'm docking a little bit for that, but it's just a tiny bit. I still like the issue. I still think it's a decent enough read. I'm not sure how big I am on there being other world killers, not because I feel like it's going to make Supergirl seem OP, because whatever. My biggest concern is the fact of like, she doesn't know who she is, but like, they all survived this thing. They all have each other. So shouldn't they be able to like piece some stuff together? And if they are all confused as to their origins, then like they still have an identity within each other. I don't know. It seems a bit weird to me. Overall, though, I'm going to give this issue a 6.5. I do like the art. I'm wondering what this Irish girl is going to be because they really focused on giving her an actual design. So I think she might be Supergirl's best buddy coming out of this, but we'll see. So yeah, no, it's a 6.5 for this. I think we've got like one more issue left in the arc, and I'm interested to see how they end it. Of course, she's going to beat Rain, but the question is, are they really going to have her beat 4 world killers all in one issue? It might be a little much, but hey, we'll see how it goes when we get there next month.